Hello!
Welcome to the Hot Mess Mountain Mamas episode
52.
That's right.
We're
And
gonna talk
today
about
we are going to talk about
Sugar.
sugar.
Hey, sugar.
Do 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 do.
You are my king,
Oh wait,
girl.
what?
I
Oh.
don't know. No,
We're just
you're
making
probably right.
I don't even know.
So we should not go to open mic night.
We should not. We should not. We won't even know what we're singing.
I
We're
know.
like, what? Where are we going with this?
We're like, I don't know. And then
Yes.
we suddenly break out into VeggieTales.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, what a great compilation.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, that was on purpose completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, sugar. Now, we've talked about sugar before, but
We wanted to give a reminder.
we want to give a reminder because if you're like me, you have been a little slack over the summer and possibly enjoyed some peach cobbler recently because it's peach season here in Colorado.
Season, and then it's going to be apple season.
And it's going to be apple season.
And then it's going to be October.
Yeah, and I was experimenting with some gluten-free recipes, so I kept the sugar in because I kind of wanted to see what I like to change one thing first, so I know if I don't like it or I want to make adjustments, I know what it is I'm wanting to adjust. And so I did eat that gluten-free cobbler. It was gluten-free and vegan, and it was delicious. It was basically by myself because it was an 8x8 pan.
I just was thinking that's what I would do. I'd just be like, oh,
thankfully it was over like 4 days. And I tried to say,
so not all in this.
No.
I would have done all in the same day.
Man, it would have been easy too. But it was like 8 servings, and I was like, this is so good. But I tried to save some for my husband, but he's not as crazy about peaches.
Oh,
and so
interesting.
finally I was like, if
What's
you're
wrong
not,
with him?
I don't know. It's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, I might eat some, but then like he didn't. And so I was like, listen, if you're not going to eat this, I'm not going to let this sit in the fridge and just mold.
No, and go bad.
Yeah. So then I had to finish it. I think the kids maybe had like a little, but
Are they not into it either?
I don't know if they were like 100% told that there was peach cobbler.
Oh, it's one of those. Okay, so that's like,
I put it in the fridge, but I wasn't. I didn't make an announcement like, "Hey, everyone, there's peach cobbler."
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a mean
like,
mom like that.
my friend sent me this massive like 40-ounce cup for water, and then she baked these amazing cookies and put whole. I mean, and they're not sugar free. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
Not sugar free. And we opened this box, the kids and I was like, oh kids, we've got to hide these from Papa. You just stash these in random places.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, and then Amelia at the same time, she decided that she wanted to make chocolate chip cookies.
Oh.
So she made them all by herself. But then there was like
good
chocolate
deal.
chip cookies to eat, and so like they kind of eat those, and I did eat
all
a
the
few of
sugar
those
things.
as well.
Ugh.
Don't get me wrong. However, I just enjoyed the cobbler also. So I was like, okay, I need to get things back in, because one of the reasons that we both feel that kind of moderating our sugar consumption is for health, but also because our sugar can be kind of put a deficit on your immune system.
Yep.
And we're coming into that time of year.
Yep, that season.
Where kids are back in school. Yours are homeschooled. I
But
have
we
50-50.
the seasonal changes and the gatherings and the get-togethers, it doesn't really matter. And I guess it really does depend on how secluded you decide to make yourself as a homeschooler. But we're typically out and about, like, even though we started school, we are doing Wednesday market tomorrow. So it's like we are going to be around.
Yeah.
We're going to be around people, and the cold and then the hot and the cold and the hot again, and we are just
and the houses are closed up and people are in closer together, and that's kind of where I was going with the homeschool thing. Is just because you're a homeschooler doesn't mean you're not out in the community getting exposed to the things,
right?
But it does seem like with the start of school,
people get sick,
and whatever that connection is, it just seems as though that's the case. So school's starting. Many schools have already started. We're starting the next week. we're kind of soft
Easing.
start.
Hey, you know what? Companies do that. Businesses do that all the time.
Yeah. Soft
start.
Soft opening.
Yep, soft opening. Just to see how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
See if you want to modify anything.
Right. Exactly. So I'm like, okay, we gotta start modifying some of the sugar and cutting back a little bit and just being a little more intentional about what we're eating.
Yep. The veggies, like the fresh fruits and veggies are like right now we're kind of in peak fruit season here. Actually, it's kind of starting to wind down a little bit.
It is,
but when it gets colder, I don't like to make smoothies as much. I don't like to eat salads as much. So it's harder to actually prepare meals that are healthier for you. A lot of times it's like, I just want to make this processed casserole and my kids aren't going to eat it, so I will.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it works
and for us, the season comes a little sooner because, like, I'm already feeling the mornings are feeling crisper. And I know, like, I have a friend that's in, I believe they are in Oklahoma, and it was like 123 where they were yesterday.
Whoa.
Yes. And she was like, this is ridiculous.
It's hot. That's hot there. Yeah, here it's like, it was chilly this morning. It was rainy and like cold.
Yeah, so we're a little ahead of the game, probably for some people as far as fall season. However, it is coming for everyone.
Yeah. However, it allows us to remind you, I don't know why I'm shaking my grass at you, but it reminds us, or it helps you to be like, oh yeah, sugar season, this cold and flu season is coming and we should prepare our bodies and our children. Now, and there's other things that we can do to help boost the immune system.
Right. And when we say sugar, I mostly mean and share what you mean.
Yeah.
I mostly am talking about the processed white sugars.
The bleached.
That have they really have no nutritional value. I can kind of justify honey and maple. I feel like there are properties in them that are just justifiable.
Yeah.
So we do still use some of those things, but your body has an easier time processing it, knowing what to do with it, burning it off. And you can still use those in moderation. But I'm not saying that we get rid of everything with any kind of sweet flavor. Like I still use honey and maple syrup and coconut sugar sometimes, but within reason. And truth be told, I do still use some white sugar sometimes for certain things that we're wanting, but I'm talking about being a little more aware and cutting back a little bit and maybe capitalizing on some of the fruits
and veggies, folks,
while they're still around and adding more of those. The other day, I almost sent you a picture. I had grilled peaches, and I put a little drizzle of really dark sugar, and then I just put like a little crumble for some crunch of like granola.
Yes.
So so I mean that's kind of what I'm saying is like, look, these peaches are ripe right now and they're really good.
Yeah.
And I can make something really good with those.
Yeah, super tasty.
Yeah, and it's still tasty and it's still sweet. I feel like I got a really yummy dessert. But definitely cut way back on like, did not have the amount of sugar that like the Cobbler had in it.
Yep.
By far. It was much less.
Yep, absolutely.
Of the processed sugar. I mean, there really wasn't really processed sugar in it actually, because I think the granola had honey and the dark chocolate was like 70%, so it was some but very little.
Very little. Yeah.
Anyway,
awesome.
so there's things we can do to still enjoy treats and life.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I think affects us, especially as kids are heading back to school, is we are trying to still be on our summer schedule of like staying up late because it still is light out.
Yeah.
So we're not getting as much sleep as we normally get.
That is true.
And so making sure that we're actually going to bed at a decent time and continuing that schedule, because you're also having to get up earlier. Like my kids are now getting up at 6:30 instead of like 7:30 or 8. So if they're not getting into bed sooner, they're definitely, and of course I'm getting up earlier too, because I need my time before
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
children are running around.
That is something we haven't quite adjusted yet, and will be happening in very shortly here.
Yeah.
But my baby likes
those...
to go to bed at midnight and wake up at like 9.
Yeah.
So I gotta try to start getting
That's
her.
horrible.
I'm like,
sorry.
Yeah. Kaylin was like, so I noticed you filled out this like form thing because we're like touching base on some stuff at like 12:30 a.m. last night, or p.m. or whatever it is. I always forget a.m. I guess. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, I did.
I was still awake. Because my baby was still awake.
I was awake at 12:30.
So yes,
but I was preparing for school.
Yeah, I was not. I was like, go to bed.
Yeah. And it's especially during those times that you really do need to boost your immune system a little more.
Yeah.
Because you're taxing your body with staying up later.
Well, yeah. So, and I was thinking that lack of sleep definitely, like, I was like, I need to start getting back on. Because I kind of fall off the truck sometimes. Like, I haven't been taking my vitamins.
Yep.
I was like, I need to get the essential oils back out. Like, I need to actually do something to prevent getting sick. But
it is amazing, though. I mean, if you do start to do some of those things, that even if you do catch whatever is going around town, it only hits me for like a couple days.
It definitely hits me much less. Yeah, because I just think your body has a little bit. It has like a boost.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
like
not to say that we
measures.
Never get sick ever again. That's not true. I wish.
I actually think it's good that we do.
Well, I mean, I could be okay if I didn't, though. I could totally live with that. I mean, we don't get sick that often, but then we'll have years like where I don't know if it's just like last year you were hammered. I was so sick for so long. That's not the norm for us. I think like we had extra stress. There was probably stuff I was gonna get, but I was having trouble kicking it.
Yep.
I had to go on antibiotics actually, and sometimes that's a different thing too. Like when you have an infection.
Yeah, you got to kick it.
Yeah. So, but that's not typical for me. But there are times when we do get sick, and there are years where it just seem harder sometimes for whatever reason, whether it's the strain of things going around or, but I do think
the turkey in the background.
Did you want to join us?
Let's see. Oh, it's not going to let me zoom. Oh, that's too bad. All of a sudden, though, I was like, she is just like...
She's just hanging out.
Standing there.
She's like, hello, you guys. Can I join you? I have something to say about this.
She's like, I would like to eat healthier, too.
That's right.
Did you get my 30% feed?
I'm trying to watch my turkey weight. I would like to not get eaten this year,
so I'm trying
to... You know that like you don't have to be the fastest runner, you just have to be faster than the slowest guy?
Yep.
She's like, I don't have to be the skinniest turkey. I just have to be thinner than the
Exactly.
The
I just have to be thinner than the Tom.
And then that way I won't get eaten. Oh, poor turkey. Look at you. You're so cute.
She is living.
Yeah.
Actually, she will live.
Yeah.
The Tom over there, on the other hand.
Look at him. He's so proud. You guys can't see him. I'm sorry.
I know. It's such a...
Anyway. Yeah. So yeah.
Food.
So food. So speaking of food, Becca grows her own. I do not.
Well, I attempt to grow my own.
Yeah, you do a good job.
And we do like eat a lot of it during these 2 months that we have as a growing season. And then I just buy from the fruit and vegetable stands.
Yeah.
The other stuff to can.
Yeah.
But it still is, it's like better for you. And I know a lot of people really struggle with starting to go away from like the highly processed foods of like, okay, I'm going to open this package and just throw it in the oven and this is what we're eating tonight. It's so convenient. I know that it's really convenient because I have used them before and they're very convenient. But I also know it's like, health-wise, you actually aren't getting the nutrients you need to actually. So it could be like, oh, I'm going to open this, pre-made pasta or whatever and throw it in the oven, but you actually are getting no nutritional value from it because it's been so processed. All the nutritional value is gone. Yeah, unfortunately.
We do lose a lot, for sure. Now, I'm not quite as bakery-ed as you are.
But you still, I've seen the things you've posted where you're like grilling chicken or even pan frying the chicken or like pan frying your veggies. And
yeah, I do like to roast things. And,
you know, I think
not in the summer as much because then I don't want to turn on the oven as much.
Oh yeah, for real.
It's, you know, so each season has its things. The grill more in the summer when possible. But, you know, then I do go through seasons where, like, life is crazy and I use some of those support. I mean, so I'm definitely...
We did boxed mac and cheese the other night.
Yeah, I was like, we're
so
definitely
I'm
not purists.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, we just have, like, you know, the goal is to have more whole food.
Right. That shouldn't be the norm. In my opinion, it shouldn't be the norm. The normal shouldn't be, oh, we are doing boxed macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
and chicken nuggets.
I do use boxed noodles.
I know.
Because I don't make my own noodles. I do.
I don't make my own noodles either. Just in case anybody was under the impression.
Yeah. But like some people do, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't have that kind of time on my hands.
I do not.
But I love homemade macaroni and cheese, and it is healthier. I mean, I don't anymore because I don't eat it. But
you can't.
But it is good. It's so much better, and it's really not that much more effort. Like if you have a good recipe and you just kind of have everything.
Yeah.
It's not that much harder. You're still doing the basic, like you're making the cream sauce instead of just pouring in the like powdered whatever.
Yep.
But you know, it's not that many steps to do it, and then it's really good.
Yeah. So have you ever added things to it to try and make it healthy?
Oh, sometimes I do. Yeah. I have to try to be sneaky though, because my kids are like super tasters. They're like, did you put something in this? No. Yeah, I did. I mean, yeah. Not all of them, but a couple of them are like super duper tasters, and they taste like every time I do something different.
They can taste it.
They can taste it if I put something healthy in it. But I do try to sneak stuff in to a lot of things I make. And then I know I've crossed the line when they're like,
they kind of wrinkle their nose at you.
This is different. I don't
know.
It's
Mom.
okay. What'd you do? Yeah. But I did try to sneak stuff in.
Yeah.
I put even like kale in their smoothies and stuff when they're not looking.
Yeah.
But they can't see it. Me do it. And it can't look too green because they're like, is there something in here?
I know. That's so true. My kids actually love spinach smoothies, but we also...
Charlie likes them. The girls do not. The girls are like,
such a shame. Yeah. So, top tips as we enter this season.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Give us your top tips, and I'll give you some of mine.
What? Say something practical? Well, for one, being aware. That's the first step for me. Is like paying attention.
Yeah.
And then I try to add more whole grains into what we're eating. Just being whole grain breads, whole grain pastas if I'm doing them, you know. And then I do sometimes I do use natural sweeteners, and you can find recipes that are like, hey, you can make this with honey or maple syrup. I do tend to think that a lot of recipes call for way more sugar than is necessary.
Oh, it's absurd.
So it's not usually very hard, even if you're taking a recipe that you're like, I really do want to make this. A lot of times you can actually cut the sugar back at least by a third and not even notice the difference.
Yeah, sometimes even a half.
Yeah, I was going to say, then you can kind of cut even more if you're like, I'm okay with this having like not being as sweet or something, right?
Yep.
And so I will, even if I'm making a recipe that I know is like, listen, I'm just going to make this. This is what I want. I do tend to cut back on the sugar or swap some of it out. And so I guess playing around with recipes a little bit and don't blow away.
I'm going to hold on to this because the wind is like, you guys can probably hear it.
Adding more natural sugars like fruits into things.
Yep. Bananas are a great substitute for baked goods.
And I know some people are like, bananas are way too high in sugar, but again, we're talking about natural sugars.
Yeah, it's natural.
And you're trying to limit the processed sugars. So I'll do applesauce. Can work in some things also.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Holy moly. Blow away. I think fall is trying to blow in.
I know. Sally has bedded down back there. Now she's just laying back there. She's like, I am the center focal point of y'all's video.
It is time to bed down.
It's like, hunker down, guys. Everybody lay down.
Okay, wow.
So,
this is fun.
Hope this has been helpful.
Yeah, you didn't get to share your tips.
I didn't. So
How to blow away.
Sleep.
Yeah.
What Jackie said. More greens.
More greens. And you use stevia. So
I do use
natural,
stevia.
More natural sugar substitutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye. Oh, find Jackie on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh yeah, Jackie Cambish and Becca
Becca
also.
Maria Eos.
That's
okay.
right.
Bye. Sally's like, bye-bye.